Howdy. Shirt makes me look like I'm wearing a clerical collar, doesn't it? It's not the usual polo shirt, is it? Anyways, today's question is fun, interesting, unusual. Not odd in a bad sense, but, you know, different. And it has to do with the fairly widespread notion that when people die, they become angels, particularly when children die. People will oftentimes say, heaven has gained another angel. So the question basically is, when people die, do they become angels? First of all, the biblical evidence. There is none. The Bible never says when people die they become angels. Not once. So then we move into the history of Christian theology. Do theologians, or has the church ever taught that when people die they become angels? The answer is no. There was never any teaching in the early church. There was never any teaching in the medieval church, the Reformation, the 17th, the 18th, the 19th, 20th, or 21st centuries. The church, in all of its forms, whether Catholic, Protestant, Reformed, Baptist, Anabaptist, Mennonite, Lutheran, Presbyterian, Methodist, name a denomination, there's no Christian denomination that has ever taught that when children or adults die, they become angels. It would be the transformation from one species to another, essentially, because human beings and angels are different species, the same way that dogs and cows are different species. And one doesn't become another. One continues to be one's own species. So where does this idea come from? And the truth is that it's fairly modern. It can't be traced back further than the 17th century. And I've not been able to track down exactly where it comes from. If I am able, I've made inquiries of people who are extremely expert. And when I hear back from them, I'll maybe do a supplement, part 2, part B. But I can't track back any further than that. And I can't really find the reason why it began to be thought. I don't know if it has to do with the process of industrialization. I don't know if during the Industrial Revolution people became convinced that the high mortality rate among children meant something. I'm not sure what the roots are, in other words, and I hope to find out. But for the time being, it is, again, not a biblical idea. It's not a historically theological idea. It is a fairly recent idea, and it's a fairly common idea among people who are Christians. So, for example, in 2013, there was a lady who made a sort of deathbed confession, and in her deathbed confession she said, "I will be able to visit my loved ones as a guardian angel. I will be able to come from above and see the goings on down here and see if I need to guide my family." Well, this is not biblical, but it's common belief. Second person, again in 2011, was the owner of a Swedish funeral home, and one of his marketing plans was to market coffins as angel boxes and cremation urns as angel dust. So in Sweden, which is essentially a Lutheran country, the idea that when you die you become an angel is widespread enough that a funeral home has marketed coffins and urns specifically to those who believe that kind of thing. Another example from 2013, a parish priest was conducting a funeral in England, and he said this. He said, "Many of my families are really contented with the idea of their loved one living with the angels or taking angel status, and never mention heaven or God. So that there, in some cases, is more interest in being an angel or the angels than there is in heaven or God himself." And again, I'm not sure where this idea comes from. I don't know if people sort of grab onto anything they can to remain connected to those who have passed, or exactly what the psychology of it all is. There are other examples a little bit earlier from 1826. In a family Bible, we find this: on the 13th of August, 1824, was born Johannes Hauenstein, baptized on the 15th. On 21 March 1826, the above mentioned became again an angel of heaven. So this is what's very interesting in terms of the historical development of this idea. The idea that there's an angel in heaven and they come and take bodily human form and then they go back to heaven and they're an angel again was latched onto by Mormonism. And this is where it becomes very interesting, because Mormonism spread this notion, and there are Christian people who have adopted this Mormon idea. Or to put it another way, somewhere in the past, the idea that people became angels when they died was picked up by Mormons, who then modified it because they believe everyone pre-exists. And you pre-exist in heaven, so you pre-exist as an angel, and you take a human form, and you become a human, and then when you die, you go back to being an angel. And many, ironically, devoted Christians picked up on that notion and also believe that when someone dies, they go to become an angel. In essence, then, what this teaching is, what this idea that you become an angel when you die, or your children become angels when they die, or heaven has gained another angel, is Mormonism. And Mormonism picked it up from who knows where. There's another example in another family Bible from 1831. The mother of the above-mentioned child also became an angel of heaven, aged 28 years and 1 month. So you have this very Mormon idea that when you die, you become an angel, or more particularly, especially when children die, they become angels. But there's no biblical reason to believe that. There's no theological reason to believe that. There's no denomination of Christianity that has ever taught that. It has seeped into the beliefs of some Christians more than should, because it's false, through the avenue of Mormonism. So when someone says to you, or you see a little headstone, or you see a little indicator, someone makes a side comment that so-and-so is an angel in heaven, what they're really telling you is that they have adopted Mormon ideas. So that's the answer to today's question. Hope you have a good day. I'll probably keep wearing this shirt for a while. I like it. It's very comfortable. It looks like it's, but it's not. It's just me.